Hey guys, this is Scott Horne. We're going to take a minute in this video. We're going to talk about subject to deals. And in down markets, why do people just walk away and give us opportunity? So if you like the video, guys, take a minute and like it, please. Don't forget to comment. We'll do our best to get back with you on those. And go over and join our YouTube channel as well. Love to have you all do that. So sub-twos, especially in down marketplaces and equity, they kind of go hand in hand, I think. Why do people just walk away? Guys, the one thing that drives our business and what I've seen for, now 30, 35 years in business is there's never a rhyme or reason as to what's going on, but people do just walk away from deals and from their homes. And they leave money on the table. I go back, to 1992, 94. A house here in Mesquite, Texas, on the east side of Dallas a little bit. Decent little home, was in good shape. And the borrowers had gotten behind in payments. And we were moving towards taking the house back in some format. I don't remember exactly what it was at this point. Anyway, all these people had to do was put a sign in the yard for sale, make a few phone calls. They could have called back then. This may have been, I don't think Home Investors was out at that point. They could have been. They didn't start till like 96, but a very simple effort. And they could have made probably 25, 30,000 net cash in their pocket. Instead of working with us or anything else, they just moved out and walked away. And you ask yourself, why do people do that? And sometimes we just don't know what that answer is. I'm sure there's something behind the scenes we may never know, but you see this and you just go, what's going on? Now, typically when we're out, what we see in today's market right now, and our marketplace has changed, guys. You got to understand the ebbs and flows of the real estate marketplace. You have to adapt to it. I go back in the sub-2 world a little bit, back to 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, when this became prevalent because of interest rates and whatnot, as well as the inability to borrow money. But we were buying homes back then. We're taking over houses with where the loans were actually current. They didn't need any repairs at all or extremely minimal. There was equity in the deal, and we were able to take that and make money three ways off of it by selling with creative finance on the back end. We would be making legitimate equity, we'd get cash flow, and we get cash in our pocket. Well, fast forward, 10, 12 years later to today, and guess what? Everything has changed. Today, people are behind in payments. Houses need repairs a lot of times, not always. And oftentimes there's limited equity. And so it goes from an equity cash flow game to maybe just a cash flow game only. And there's, of course, everything in between. But people, when they're trying to get out of their house for some reason, there's always a reason. Just closed a deal not too long ago where our seller had just bought this home. It was new construction in a new neighborhood that was still had building going on, and builders were still building other neighborhoods nearby. So lots of competition, unfortunately. This is also at a time where the marketplace had dropped, and we've been on this uphill climb for so long, coming out of the 08, 09 real estate crash where houses dropped from 100 cents on the dollar down to about 40 cents. And it may have taken, I'm guessing, 10 or 12 years just for those houses to get back to where they were originally in value. Then they went a little bit past it, and then of course things got stupid for a bit. And then the marketplace turned, and it turned down. And these people had bought the house at the very top of the curve, and the value had dipped where they were actually underwater on the actual value, about 10, 12,000. If they had paid their commissions on the closing and other things they had to deal with, they were going to lose about $30,000. Got it. They couldn't stay. They got transferred. They didn't have an option. They had to move because of their job to Alabama in this case. And the realtor said, I can't help them. They don't have the money to bring to closing to close this. And even if we could find a buyer for all this competition, and they asked us if we could help, and of course we were able to do so. It took a little bit longer than anticipated. I wasn't able to get the full down payment I usually like. I wasn't able to charge the same interest rate I like. I was still able to put the deal together and make it work. But there's a real example as to why people need to move, make decisions. You will run across so many other situations out there in the marketplace. Divorce scenarios where everybody is just angry at everybody. They just want out. And whatever it takes, they don't care. They'll just walk away. There could be 20, 50, 100,000 of equity. They don't care. Could be medical issues. They just got to get out. They can't afford it. Things are going on. And there's a myriad of other things that will arise as to why sellers have just got to exit that property. But okay, is what it is. And from our end, it gives us an opportunity to of course, buy these homes. I don't want to use the word take advantage because, you know, really we're not here to take advantage of people per se. We're here to make a reasonable profit, obviously, but not here necessarily to screw sellers or anybody of that nature at all. And when these things arise, it is an opportunity. And learning how to work with sellers by offering some cash, maybe some terms, maybe that seller can carry back a second lien on the property in some format where they get a monthly payment that works for you. Maybe that has a interest rate or no interest rate associated with it. I don't know. But it is an opportunity. And for us investors, it's learning how to navigate these situations properly. It's not walking in and trying to slam the seller, but finding that comfortable middle ground is probably the best way to describe it, where we're able to help sellers, but at the same time, make a good deal for ourselves too. And so there's, again, all types of reasons that occur out there. Learning how to read the seller, determine the situation, work within the confines. It doesn't mean giving away the ranch by any means, because the seller doesn't want to give away the ranch either. But at the same time, that meeting in the middle is what so often, leaving a little bit of meat on the bone, as we say sometimes. And it helps us to get there, make these deals happen. You help the seller, you get a good deal, which means your back-end strategy, whether it's you're living at home, some form of rental property, or even a back-end owner finance, begins to work very well for yourself. So recognize these kind of things, learn how to navigate them, learn how to move in and be opportunistic, and go out and make the deal happen. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, just take a minute and like it, please. We appreciate that. Go over and join our YouTube channel. If you got any comments, comment below. We'll do our best to answer those for you. We'll see you guys next time.